Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Free Friday Tidbit. We are still in April, which means we are still going to be talking about processing pace and the difficulties that that can pose for those of us who are affected by prenatal alcohol exposure, whether we are still children or whether we are adults functioning in this world. As I'm sure you realize, nobody outgrows FASD. Although we typically think of it as a childhood thing, because that's when we hope it's all, diagnosed and interventions put into place to help people from avoiding some of the negative outcomes that Dr. Google likes to talk about. But sometimes things are just a mess, and processing pace has a lot to do with it. Let me tell you an example. There was a young woman who had her first job at a fast food restaurant, like so many of us have our first jobs at fast food restaurants. And during her training period, she did really, really well. But as you know, when people start working, they're introduced to tasks, and as they show their ability to do them, they're given more and more things to do. And they're expected to do them faster and faster and faster. And this is where processing pace can kind of kick in. So this young woman had been in her job for a few months. Things had been going really well, but all of a sudden, the supervisor realized, you know what, she's no longer happy. She's rude to her coworkers. She's just sullen and irritable with customers. What is going on? And that's when the supervisor realized, yeah, this is a change. This is a change. This is not her normal. So what is it that changed for this young woman? And as I said, more tasks are added, the pace is faster, and people are expected to multitask. But in this case, this young woman could only do one thing at a time, which is why she did so well during her training period. Because when you're being trained, you only do one thing at a time. And as she was expected to greet customers, make small talk with them, run the till or the cash register, process orders, and keep things moving at a very, very good clip, right? To be efficient. We all love efficiency, right? It got to be overwhelming for her. And as a result of feeling overwhelmed, her attitude really shifted. And she was able to do any of those things less well than she had been. So, being a very astute boss, the supervisor reassigned her back to the things that she did very well, putting all the items onto the tray or into a sack, right? For example, or being a greeter. Those were things that she did very well. And it's always good for any of us to be in positions that really play to our strengths. Amen? Yes. Know your strengths, know your challenges, play to your strengths, take advantage of your strengths, and life will go much better. So, one of the things that I want to highlight in this story is that when we are overwhelmed, our processing pace actually decreases because our brain gets misdirected or redirected over to filtering out stimuli. And that takes energy away from actually processing the things that need to be attended to. And I can speak to this from personal experience. When I am overstimulated or overwhelmed, if I have a really bad day, like I did a few Fridays ago, I'm not myself. I don't function as quickly as I do at most other times. And I just get things done at a slower pace. And here's a hint, very frustrating, not only for those around me, but also for me. So slow processing pace can be very frustrating and stressful to the person who is slower, because there is always that awareness that we're not fast enough. So once again, slow down. That is your most powerful accommodation that you can give to people. To people who have a slow processing pace, is slow down. Provide ample time, right? And it's okay. It'll all get done. Maybe not in a New York minute, but it'll get there. And that's my free Friday tip for this week. Have a good weekend. Have a great week ahead. And I'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye, everyone.